So what's happening? I'll get these YouTube vlogs back up and running. I will do one a week. So that's 3 weeks out. Well, we're 2 weeks and 5 days out now. So yeah, it was. Let's do the wrap up with Arnold first. So went into that. For those who don't know, those who weren't following my my Instagram stories and that, we had a pretty bad start to the journey to the Arnold. So BA cancelled our flights the night before we were supposed to leave for Heathrow. Lucky I checked the BA app, right? So I was checking the BA app all week because we've had problems with BA before. We had issues getting to Dubai. So I was checking it all the time, like literally all the time, every hour, right? So I'm having my last meal and I look at my phone, cancelled, and I was like, fuck. So I was fucking raging. I was screaming the place down, roaring the place down. Pretty sure our neighbours think Reagan's dead, or that they live next to a fucking psychopath. I've never lost it that much because I knew something was going to happen. I knew BA was going to be the reason that the trip was potentially fucked. And so looked at other airports, Edinburgh, nothing. Nothing in Scotland anyway. Going to London at that time with enough time to make it for our connection flight. So that was the problem. We had a very short window of connections to make. So we decided to drive through the night down to Heathrow. On the way there, I booked the cheapest parking I could find, literally the cheapest parking I could find. I then go on to yell.com or whatever and see the reviews for the car park, and they were fucking horrendous. Like nothing was above 1 star. A lot of them said they were scammers. A lot of people said they had to get the police involved to get their car back. I was like, fuck's sake. So I just bit the bullet and I got long-term parking at Heathrow, which cost 180 quid. So that was great. So I spent 70 quid on this shitty car park that we never went to, and 180 quid on the Heathrow car park. No valet, nothing. So what is that? 250 pound in parking, 70 of which I didn't use. So that was a stinger. Anyway, the travel to Ohio from that point was absolutely seamless. There was no issues at all getting from... Oh, no. Hold on. There still was. So we get into Heathrow. We stand in the queue. Now, I said to the BA woman who was guiding people left, right and centre, I said, I don't want an automated machine. I want to talk to someone. I want to talk to a human being about what we've went through so that we can get some sort of compensation or whatever the fuck, right? Can I speak to a human being at this desk? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. I'm still in the queue, so we come back round. Are you definitely sure we're in the right queue? Because the queue was going at snail pace. Yes, it's definitely the right queue. And she was even starting to get snappy with me. And I was like, right, okay. 2 hours later, get to the front of the queue. You're in the wrong fucking queue. And I was like, that's why you ask a million times. Now, I wanted to go punch her fucking cunt in, but obviously you can't batter a member of BA staff in the middle of Heathrow Airport. So we go to the American Airlines queue. We're in that queue. We're in the BA flights to America queue. Okay, that's us. It's booked under BA. We booked through BA. It says BA in the app. It's operated by BA Airlines. That's literally what it said in the app. In the time that it took to get us to the front of that queue, which is another hour, American Airlines took it over. So it's now operated by American Airlines. So we then have to get shifted to that, the American Airlines queue. Don't get me wrong, the second girl that we spoke to, she was really nice, so I couldn't blow my top at her, but we then get put in the American Airlines queue. I was like, you can get the fuck. We went right in front of everyone that was in that queue. I didn't give a shit. We're going like tough. You can scream and shout what you want about me fucking budging in, but anyway, so we'll get to the front of the American Airlines queue. Thankfully, get through, and then from that point, everything getting to Ohio was absolutely spot on. There was no issues at all. There was no issues getting to the Airbnb, which was amazing, by the way. If you see on my photos from Instagram, it was a nice wee place, nice wee flat. So we'll definitely be staying there when we go back to the Arnold next year. So the lead up to the Arnold itself, again, I was just getting better. We arrived there a wee bit flat. I lost 6 pounds, but we removed the GH and removed the gear because I wasn't taking any of that shit into the US because I didn't want a fucking jail sentence. So that got removed, and then obviously the water from there started kind of coming out. So most people are so paranoid they hold water on the flight. I lost 6 pounds, so get to Columbus, fairly flat but really dry, really spot on, which was class. So from that point, Nick and I just started putting the food back up. We went and trained at the pros gym, formerly the Powerhouse gym, met all the top pros. Reagan went to the meet and greet, and then each day I just got better and better and better and tighter and tighter and tighter, and I was so excited to wake up. Just wake up and see what the physique was doing. It was really, really responding extremely well. And I woke up on the day of the show, the best I have ever been. My best ever, I consider to be the 2019 PCA British. I was light years ahead of that. So I was delighted. 245. Keep in mind, I competed at the Arnold UK at 237. Coming off the back of the Arnold UK, I said I needed to be half a stone heavier. There we go, half a stone. So, and even then, I sent Nick photos on the morning of, and he was like, we could have pushed the fullness a wee bit more. So that was obviously interesting to know, but we didn't. We kind of kept to what it is. On the day of the show, I had 3 rice and chicken meals. I didn't want to eat the likes of oats first thing in the morning. Cream of rice, you have to use quite a lot of water to make it. So we just kept it rice and chicken, and then we threw in some rice cakes, peanut butter and jam after the third meal leading into the show. So Backstage was incredible. I've been in, like, Backstage was more equipped than some gyms in Scotland. I'm not even fucking joking. Like, it was superb. There was mirrors everywhere. Now, I don't know how many people watch this channel. I don't know who watches this channel, but if you're a promoter of a show, have more than one fucking mirror backstage. There should be about 1,000 mirrors backstage. Even if there's circus mirrors where, like, it distorts you, whatever, it's something to look at. There was literally a mirror every 3 feet backstage, and Backstage was huge. So, it was brilliant. Just literally the best thing. It was ran really well. Granted, it wasn't the busiest show of all time. It wasn't the busiest amateur show of all time, but it was ran extremely, extremely well, and I had a fucking amazing time. Just sitting there, just getting ready to go. As for the show itself, I was up against Andrew Jacked, the viral sensation from Dubai, and in my opinion, he's gonna, if he dials it in, adds a bit more size and gets shredded, he's gonna be the next Ronnie Coleman. There's no question in my mind. He's gonna be unbeatable in 5-7 years time. If that's a fucking overreach there. So he was in my class. Now, I don't care what people's opinion is on me. I don't give a fuck. I was way more conditioned than him, way more. And now you got to remember, like, we're in the super heavyweight class. We're the big boys. You know, I'm 5'11" and I compete at 113 kilo. Well, I did that day anyway. 245 is 111, 112. So 112, right? I competed that, peeled out my mind. He made me look like a wee boy. Like, his lat spread goes on forever. So, but as they were awarding the other classes, Reagan was obviously texting me because she was in the crowd, and she was saying, no one, the bigger, rounder guys are being beaten by smaller conditioned guys. And I was like, great, that's playing right into my favour. The classes that didn't happen were the heavyweights and the supers. So, came second. The guy who came third won the classic overall. He also done the super heavies. So, that was a good result in my opinion. In terms of, I wanted more people in my class. There's only 4 people in my class. You know, I wanted fucking 25 boys in that class. I still stood on the Arnold stage. Always wanted to, dream come true. Came second to a very, very impressive bodybuilder who's going to be on top 10 Olympia pretty soon. So I was happy with that. I didn't come off the stage feeling too disappointed. I want to win. You know, I don't like being handed second place. But I came off stage relatively happy, and it wasn't until later that day I kind of felt, I did feel disappointed, because there's literally, it's weird because I was disappointed, but at the same time I felt like I couldn't be, because I was like, I gave that 1,000,000,000%. That was the best prep I've ever done in my entire life. And everything was just to the gram, immaculate. Like, literally could not have done it anymore. I can't find a fucking inch where I could have improved or done something better, or, you know what I mean, gave it more. So that I was kind of mixed feelings towards that night. So and then obviously come off stage, and was like, right, we're going to do the Ben Weider then. So that's now the show that I'm going to be doing. So the Ben Weider Classic in Maidenhead on the 2nd of April. So that's 2 weeks this Saturday. So which I'm very confident for. Coming off the back of that show, yeah, usually I rebound after a show, i.e. add a good bit of water, because the day after the show I usually take the day off, I'll go eat what I want, I probably won't drink much water, so there usually is a rebound phase of 3 to 5 days where I'm holding water and then eventually falls off. After this show, we went to New York for 5 days. Well, there's 5 days period post-show, but 3 days in New York. And yeah, so the rebound was a bit more accentuated than it would have been just having just done 1 day off. But I only went up £5, so which I was very surprised at. So only up £5. Pretty waterlogged. Just walking down the street, I can feel like I get a pump in my calves. Typing, I feel like my hands are starting to cramp as I'm typing. So and I'm sweating like fuck all the time. So I'm definitely holding a lot of water, but it's slowly coming off. I can see it coming off with every check-in that I've done so far. That's another £2 down. Obviously I put all the anabolics and the GH back in, so there's going to be some distortion in terms of the weight there. But no, I think we're going to be back to stage look anyway by Thursday or Friday. In terms of dryness and whatnot, might be a couple pound up, but whatever. So going forward, Nick wants us to keep the food high. So we're at 650 on a training day carbs, and we're at 450 carbs on a rest day. So that's what we're going to do going forward. And obviously training's back up to full capacity now. We're not doing any kind of deloaded sessions and whatnot. We're really trying to fucking push it in the gym again. I've already hit some off-season goals that I wanted to achieve. I got a 4-plate Smith machine close grip bench, which is great. So everything seems to be working as it should. I'm pretty relaxed and pretty chilled going into this show. So I was pretty chilled going into the Arnold. So it was, if I'm chilled going to that, I'm chilled going into the Ben Weider. So yeah, I'm really excited for this show. And we can take what we've learned previously. For instance, we pulled all the anabolics out at 5 days out. That's usually I pull them at 3. That gave me an extra 2 days of kind of drying out. So very interesting in terms of that front, which we're going to do obviously for this show as well. And yeah, it literally is a case of coasting just now, getting the water off. We've got time if we decide that once the water's off, if we need to kind of pull down a little bit more and try and get just a little bit more inside out. Looking at the photos from the Arnold, I don't think that'll be needed. But a part of me is like, yes, we can go for it. We can push a wee bit more, but who knows? We'll see what happens when the water comes off first. Because as Nick says, if we start doing drastic things to help the water come off, we're going to have this layer of water over the physique, and then underneath it, we're just going to keep flattening it. So you're going to kind of look worse when there's no need. So we're just taking it literally day by day. And yeah, the water, like I said, the water's slowly kind of balancing out. Water hormones are kind of getting back into place. So very excited going forward. And to sum up the Arnold, that was and our trip to New York, that was just the trip of a lifetime. It was fucking unbelievable. If I wasn't on prep, if that had been the last show, I think we would have decided to go to Boston and go see the Boston Pro. That'd have been really exciting because that show looked mad. It was class, but I'm still fired up, still ready to go. There's not, my motivation's through the fucking roof. Everything's booked for the Ben Weider. Actually, I need to see if I can extend the days, because Reagan's was supposed to be working, but that's been moved. So now I'm going to try and get a day earlier to go down to Maidenhead, and just a day of chilling on the Friday rather than going down, having to fucking mush about and all that. So I need to do that. So that's reminding me to do that. And but yeah, there is a part of me that I am very much looking forward to this being over. You know, that's been a year on prep. And I'm very much looking forward to, not necessarily downtime or time off. I want to get back into an off season and start going to work. And regardless if that's with a pro card or not, I want to get back to off season and build my physique back up. So learned a shit ton this prep this year. Having working with obviously Patrick Shearer for the first half and Nick for the second. I learned a lot from both. And it's going to be exciting going forward. I'm excited to be standing in front of the British crowd again, in front of people who, well, basically our industry. We're standing in front of our industry, so it's going to be good. I'm very, very excited, and like I said, I'll do another one of these next Monday, and keep an eye out for training videos with Craig Stellar going forward. And also I'll be putting together my bodybuilding 101 posing video as soon as I can, but there's no rush for that just now, so I don't know when that's going to come out, but I'll sort that as soon as I can. So cheers for the support, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, blah, 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 blah.